Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to see everyone here tonight. Nice smiling faces. Thank you, Ken, for that introduction. I had to pat myself a couple times to make sure I was alive because it sounded like a eulogy. Oh, am I still here? I guess so. I do appreciate that. I'd like to congratulate my fellow Hall of Fame inductees, Michael Sands, Larry Sering, who I have competed against over the years. And Mike and I have the distinction of also having bowled for the University of Texas, of course in different decades. I was in the 70s and he was in the 80s. So I'm a couple years older than you are, Mike. I'd like to thank Norm Clark for his nomination. About 5 or 6 years ago, Norm came up to me at Astro with a blank nomination form and said, I want to nominate you for Hall of Fame. And he handed me the form. And I said, thank you, Norm. And then he walked away. I said, hey, aren't you going to fill this out? He goes, no, you do it. Thanks, Norm. I would also like to thank the GSA USBC Hall of Fame Committee for its selection of me in the category of administration, organization, and service. My lovely wife, Karen, that I've known we've been dating and married for 47 years now. She met me when I was bowling for University of Texas, so she has allowed me to express my passion for the sport. I didn't quite bowl on my wedding day. I don't think I could have gotten away with that, but I have bowled on many an anniversary. So I do thank her for allowing me to
do what you love.
Yes, do what I love, is bowling. My family and friends that are here, there are a lot of them, and I do appreciate all my family and friends that are here. Having come from as far away as Detroit, my sister Paulette came here from Detroit with her fiance. From New York, my daughter and her husband came here from New York. My other daughter's parents-in-law came all the way from Florida. My other family, from Karen's side of the family, came here from Dallas. Fraternity brothers here from Houston, from Dallas, from Austin, and then of course everybody else who's here locally in San Antonio. We certainly appreciate you being here tonight, helping us to celebrate this festive event. My brother Dana was not able to make it tonight, but I thank him for his contribution for tonight's festivities, since he paid for the tables. You know, he's got it like that. Yeah, he is. Every once in a while you might see him on CNN or Fox News commenting on the war and what's going on. So if you see this guy, his name is Major General Dana Pittard. That's my younger brother. But he couldn't be here tonight, so. I'm dedicating this speech, though, to my parents, Bob and Jackie Pittard, for introducing me and my brother to the sport of bowling. They also taught me that there was a social justice side to bowling, something that many people are not aware of unless you're denied access because they not like us. My dad helped to integrate the lanes in downtown El Paso before they allowed African Americans to bowl there. So he was instrumental in integrating the lanes in El Paso back in the late 50s and early 60s. So that's kind of my impetus to bowling. It's not just that it's a sport to be enjoyed, but also that it's something that should be enjoyed by everyone. I love to bowl. I love the sport of bowling. But maybe more importantly, I enjoy getting stuff done for the sport and making a difference. Because there's so many people that talk a good game, but then nothing happens. So I want to be part of that number that helps get stuff done. I love to write about bowling. You saw many articles up there about Larry and about Mike that Harry Page wrote back in the day when Harry Page was writing for the San Antonio Express News. And in fact, Harry Page is a Hall of Famer in the administration, organization, and service side of the house. But since Harry Page has not been here for quite a while, someone had to kind of pick up the torch. Although I'm not in the Express News, I've been writing about bowling for the past 25 years on a variety of subjects in several different types of periodicals. My first article, though, was about the TNBA, because several members of the TNBA felt that African American bowlers were not being publicized as much as they should have, and they asked me if I could write an article about TNBA to help publicize the African American bowlers and their accomplishments within the bowling community. So that's what got me started writing about bowling, and I've been doing it ever since. I'm also a member of the Texas Bowling Writers Association, so my articles get published across the state about the sport of bowling. Over the past 20 years, I've enjoyed coaching and mentoring adults and high school students, watching their growth in the sport and their success as they become better bowlers. And like Ken said, I work with them over a summertime, teaching them how to change hand positions and how to make the ball do certain things. And the first time he shoots 300, that fall was directly at me. I'm like, really? Couldn't you have waited to bowl that against somebody else? But I was happy for him for about a second. I love being on the GSA USBC Board of Directors and having a positive impact on the San Antonio bowling community, serving as second vice president, chairman of several committees, and most recently as the director of the City Open Tournament. So if you all bowled last weekend over at Astro for the City Open Tournament, if you had any complaints, I was the guy that you came to. But we had a good time, and it was my first tournament that I actually ran, and Sean Corbett and his staff at Astro were instrumental in helping us put it together, and of course Bob Martin is the overall director of tournaments. So we had a good time, and I thought it went really well for my first tournament. 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to attend the USBC Leadership Academy, and now as a result, I'm serving a 3-year term on the USBC Youth Advisory Group. This is the group that advises the USBC on youth bowling and helps set policy and standards for youth bowling throughout the United States. And currently, because of my work on the youth committee, I'm under consideration for the seat that is open on the USBC Board of Directors that they have reserved for members of the youth committee. They only have 2. One is already filled by the president or the chairperson of the committee, so I'm now vying for that second seat. So we'll see what happens on that. I would love to sit on the USBC Board of Directors and help to set standards and policies for the entire USBC. But most importantly to me, as a member of the TNBA for over 25 years, I've endeavored to make our greater San Antonio bowling community more inclusive, especially for youth of color and underserved communities, by serving as president of the TNBA League for over a decade, providing bowling equipment for the San Antonio Independent School District to help them implement a district-wide after-school program for middle school bowlers. I also helped to start a bowling club at the St. Philip's Early College High School, which is associated with St. Philip's College, which is a historically black college and university. It was the first time that any school in SAISD had a bowling club. Of course, it helped that St. Philip's has its own bowling lanes. They have a 6-lane house of string bowling, which most bowlers really don't like. But they do have string bowling there. They had kids that were enthusiastic, so we got a bowling club started at St. Philip's. And then this year, for the first time, my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated, is sponsoring a scholarship bowling tournament for the first time to raise funds for scholarships to promote our mentorship program, expose more children of color to organized bowling, and to help raise funds for scholarships. So when someone asks you, why is that guy in the Bowling Hall of Fame? You can tell them it's not because I'm a pretty good bowler, which I am. I'm a pretty good bowler. It's because I'm dedicated to the sport of bowling at the highest levels, serving the San Antonio bowling community, educating bowlers about the sport, coaching and mentoring young bowlers, making bowling more inclusive through its increasing its diversity, and because I'm just damn good at what I do. I appreciate everyone for being here tonight and helping me celebrate this great honor. Thank you very much.